So our slogan is dedicated to bringing the best um, health and well-being to elite athletes and the community. Uh, the slogan is that as such, just purely out of personal experience. After years of being an athlete, there were a lot of times where the physical aspects, in terms of training, were hands down sorted out. Had that done and tapped in on. But when it came to being able to overcome injuries and needing treatment and being able to see somebody, it was hard. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Athletes, especially here in the UK anyway, a lot of the time are broke if you're not in the top creme de la creme. There's not money in the sport. So you either training a lot and not able to work, so your pennies are low, or you're working a lot and then your training is minimal. Um, so that's been my understanding and experience of it anyway. But then also on top of that, there is also the mental side, which is the part to me that I feel let me down in my athletic career anyway, because I had all the capabilities in training, times, distances, whatever's, but there was just that I don't know what it was. Honestly, to this day, I don't know. But there was something mentally that just wasn't in check there, and I think that is something I can either help out with or forewarn onto those that are either competing or wanting to come in to compete now. Also, the community side of it is just that's a personal thing as well. Purely watching uh, my granddad. He got dementia. Uh, he got dementia. He got sick. There was a list of things wrong, to be honest. And it was just seeing the deterioration of him and the man that I knew disappear, really, um, and not keeping up with his physicality of being active more so than just going for a walk or anything. Like, you have to stay fit, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but you have to stay fit in order to survive. Like, people seem to underestimate the ability is that it is even just to get out of the chair or to be able to carry your own shopping from the car to the house, or just do the little things in life. And I think that is the community side of it for me, is that I do plan to outreach the community and get involved with that type of uh, clientele, and hopefully improve their being and lives. So yeah, that is Alpha. The phrase "what is your why" basically comes from life. Like, what is your why? Why are you here? What do you feel your purpose is here in this lifetime? I think it's a question that people don't ask themselves and should be asking themselves. It's something that people need to consider, even just in training. Um, that's athletes and again just the normal standard go gym goer. I think the standard gym goer gets a little bit too fixated on weight loss and everything. People associate that you need to go to the gym purely just because you want to lose weight, and it's far from the truth. You can go to the gym purely because you want to be strong enough to carry the shopping. I know I've said that before, but to carry the shopping, to make sure that you are able to lift your child up and not feel like you're struggling. Um, it could be that you want to be able to go into uh, a weightlifting competition. Like the reasons of and whys can be such a large multitude of things that I do think people get bogged in on the weight loss, and there's so much more to fitness, health, and well-being than losing some weight. Um, so yeah, the what is your why? So I can even give you an example as to my why. I love to eat, and that's it. I love to eat. I love to eat rich foods, whether it's cream, where it's heavy on the creams and the cheeses and the I like red meats. That's my usual go-to eating. So my whole purpose is that I train as hard as I do because I need my body to be able to metabolize that type of food and be able to process it in a way where it's not backlashing onto me, and I'm gonna suffer for having that type of diet, whether it's weight gain or blood pressure or so forth. So I'm actively combating the foods I'm eating really. Um, yeah, so that's my why. But your everyone's why can be completely different as to what it might be. So that is what I mean by what is your why? What is your why as to why you feel like you would need to be in a training environment? Athletics is always going to be something I'm going to keep my eye on and always be, I suppose, have my toe in to some extent, no matter how old I get. Um, it it just took over from when I was a teen. It took over. I used to play rugby. Um, I played for Lancashire at one point. I had a promise. I could have just stayed with rugby. To be honest, it was progressing where it needed to go. Um, but it was just something about athletics. It just took. Yeah, I did it. Came down, and I started as a high jumper. To be honest, started as a high jumper, and then I went on to doing sprints and jumps. And yeah, it just took me over. It won me over, and it was something I was always going to be a part of. I've been here at Sports City for over a decade. I've been coming here since I was 15, 16. I'm now 32, so yeah, it's been a long time that it's held on to me, and I don't see it losing its grip anytime soon. Um, I do feel like the UK athletic scene needs a bit of a rejuvenation. And I feel like it's down to us to make that happen because the powers that maybe might not have the same ideas as, or even might not even be talking about it the way that it gets discussed behind closed doors or open, not even closed doors, open doors here at Sports City and openly spoke about. And I think that is something that needs to be documented and shown to the world, basically. And no one is really taking up that task. So I figured I might as well do it, seeing as that's my viewpoint anyway. So yeah, Alpha TV is going to be a. I was gonna say a documentary. It's not gonna be a documentary. It's not gonna be a docu series. It's not gonna be anything like that. The Alpha TV, I want to be a representation of athletics here in Sports City, at least anyway. And if it can go further afield, then I will be greatly approving of that if it does get to that stage. But um, like I said, I've been in Sports City. A lot of us that you will see eventually on the channel have been in Sports City for a long time, and the antics, the opinions, the training, the highs, the lows that go on in the building are what make the sport so alluring and so captivating. And I feel like that is the part that is missing from the wider knowledge of athletics. Most people in the world only get to view athletics when it's a championships or a diamond league, um, which isn't a full representation. You might see someone run for 10 seconds or 9 seconds at this point, I guess, or throw or jump their distances and heights, and that's they people tend to think that that's just it. Like they can now come and get in the world, and then they feel like they can do that. And I feel like that's because they don't see what goes into it. They don't see when someone who's running for 200s or 400s is cramping on the floor and writhing in pain, or um, puking up, or yeah, or just the blood, sweat, and tears basically that just goes into the making of an athlete. That is what's missing, for me, I think, and would make a big difference to bringing the crowd or a crowd of people to view the sport, because they can then understand um, what it actually takes, what goes into it. I know there has been a few. Obviously, there was the latest one was obviously one of the Bolts, and you did get to see a little bit of a glimpse of what his life was like leading up to his championships and stuff, with injuries and training and so forth. But even that's still like one in so many athletes that are available, whether it's amateur or professional. It's like football. It's a culture. It's a sport, but it's a culture at the same time. And I think that how I want Alpha TV to be able to show that side, at least definitely here at Sports City for the most part, anyway, and let people see into our world a little bit more. So yeah.